Orhan con todas las fotos que saca en los actos públicos.
Okay. I download them to computers, hard disks. I had some 4 or 5 years I had been taking these. Probably I downloaded all the photos I took in the last 4 years with this camera and similar cameras, and put them in a hard disk and took them to America just in case there's an earthquake in Istanbul, and keeping another copy in Istanbul. I'll tell you some of the benefits and then you will see why. If I say, what is that? This is 28th and 29th of November today. 3 years later, if I say to myself, what did I do in 29th of November? I touch a button in my computer, 100 pictures comes, and you will be there. That's one reason, and it's such a joy. I am a visual person. Living for me is seeing. Famous Descartes, Cartesian, cogito ergo sum. I say, I see, therefore I am. It's such a joy to see. And in my novels, I always behave like a visual person. I describe to the readers pictures. And it's a waste for me not to preserve what you see. And you know, you only buy this to 300 euros, and there is no other cost. It's all electricity, which is zero. And all you have to have a computer, then all your life is recorded. I ask you, why don't you do it too?
Sorry, you are making a museum of your life.
Yes.
Sobre el futuro del libro y qué influencia tendrá Internet y el libro electrónico en el desarrollo de la literatura en el futuro.
Okay. I believe in books. Let me go into that first. If you're aspiring to be a writer, it's a risky thing. You may never be successful. You may not even get published. You may be very unhappy. In order to survive this tension, there is an ethics and ideology of belief in books, immortality of books. They are immortals, they are important. Books are kept in libraries eternally. These are aspects of a necessary ideology that writers should believe so that in bad times they don't give up. They are not maybe accurate, they don't represent the truth, but that is how it is. But once we begin to believe in the immortality of literature and books, we also begin to believe in immortality of the books as objects, which is different. Books are in the end texts, not necessarily objects. But now we have come into a period in human history where books as made up objects made from paper is in question. I understand your question as such. When you say, do you believe in books? Of course we believe in books if books are only texts. But now, books are not only texts, books are texts plus paper. Now, and I have 16,000 books in my Istanbul houses, and I bought them when there was no internet, walking from shop to shop, and I didn't have much money till the age of 35. I bought first my hardcover book in America, and I was trembling, am I spending too much money? I was always buying paperback books because I didn't have money. So I paid so much time and energy and dedication to my library, which now electronics is saying, you know, just push a button, I'll give you your library. More or less, that will happen. If you're conservative, you get angry because my library is also me. I bought them in small, little, cheap places. There were no second-hand bookshops, which I now tuck, I bounce, and the books are coming by airplane. It was not like that. I walked and walked and walked and walked in New York, in Istanbul, so many bookshops, bought so many books, put them in order, and gave so much to my library, and I love my library. And when I'm in political exile, I miss, as much as Turkey, I miss my library. But on the other hand, the numbers are also like that. I also see in America or other countries, young people, they don't have that sentimental attachment to the smell of the book. And once the copyright expires, you go to Amazon, complete works of Mark Twain, which if I buy if 10 years ago, even in a cheap paperback, $5 is say $50. It's now $1. You buy a Kindle, complete works of Mark Twain is $1. So, and youngsters don't have this sentimental attachment. I can't tell them, oh, please write with your fountain pen to your letter. Don't use email. You can't say that. You can say to these people, oh, what about the smell of the books? I continue smelling my books at home, but unfortunately they're buying from Kindle. These are the facts. I cry also the smell of the books, but I'm sure one day they will invent a Kindle with smell, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Fernando Lopez wants to know, with all this time that you spend writing every day, how much time do you spend reading every day?
I confess that I used to read more when I was young. Not that I'm disillusioned by literature, but in my, say, between the ages of 16 and 26, I read books to make myself. I think that human character is not consistent all the time. We change. I don't believe in Freud in the sense that our characters are formed till the age of 12. I, especially between the ages of 16 and 26, I read books to make myself. I made myself a better man by reading books. And at that time, I used to read more deeply, more ecstatically, more intensely, to make myself to be like those people in the books. But now I'm not reading like that, I confess. And reading is not as attractive as it was in my youth. Now I think I read more professionally. Say there is a now American Pakistani writer, Daniel Muhyiddin. I'm reading his stories just at the hotel. Their wonderful stories gave me so much joy because it's my part of the world and this writer is so talented, is seeing everything. It's such a great joy, but it doesn't change my soul as books used to change my spirit, my soul in my youth. I used to open my spirit to books to make myself feeling bad and shallow if I don't read them. But today, I read a book to be informed. Sometimes to see what other authors are doing, but less to make myself. That joy of making yourself, changing your character, your spirit through books has passed away.